Welcome back. This is the Profit Scaling Podcast. It is my pleasure to introduce and be with William Johnson here today. He has been in media for longer than I've been alive, over 30 years here. And he is a media mogul. He is a pioneer in this space. And today we're going to jump in, explore part of his story, how he actually is like went into media and then is transitioning it all into bringing it to the new age with school communities of bringing offline things into the online world. So super excited to have you. And yeah, I'd love to just dive in of how you got your start in media, because you've been in this longer than anyone. You were one of the originals.
Well, actually, it's a really crazy story. I was a carpenter in 1987, an electrician, and my dad was kind of like a superintendent of this resort community up in Sequoia National Forest, where our family had a cabin. And we were just raking leaves one day, and these four suits come out of the forest lost. And we're like, "Oh, what are the feds doing here?" Like, oh, really, it was crazy. These guys were like decked out to the nines. They were lost. They ended up being location scouts for a movie. And that movie came up and did 3 months in our little hamlet where our cabin was. And so they hired me as the construction coordinator for the film, and my dad is the location coordinator. And then we got really tight with the grips and electrics on the movie. And my dad had been a rigger in the Navy. And because I was a carpenter and electrician, they're like, man, you guys would make great movie grips. And so that started my career. We ended up going to Hollywood and all in all did 20 feature films. I'm on the International Movie Database as a rigging grip and electrician and best boy and all that. And then in 1990, I moved to Vegas because I wanted to be around music. And I approached the local rock stations about doing a concert television show. And I wanted to do more than just show the concert, which really nobody was doing at that time. MTV was kind of like leaning toward the reality TV stuff around 1990, and there was a lot less live concerts on MTV and VH1. And so I got in and we did Allman Brothers and Little Feat, and that started Desert Rock Television. And then we started a country show. And in 5 years, we ended up doing 80 rock bands, 40 country bands, including like Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, the Rolling Stones, and a bunch, Chris Ledoux and Tracy Lawrence, a bunch of really Shenandoah, a bunch of famous country acts as well. And then I started working for those bands directly and producing tour specials that would promote their tours worldwide. We would follow them to like 8 or 9 or 10 cities and film all along the tour and do behind the scenes stuff. And then we would put that into a 1 hour special to promote their tour dates. And I've been really doing live streaming and live events and concerts and stuff ever since.
That's incredible. And just such an interesting way of to get involved of just four guys coming out of the forest and you just you just jump right into making movie sets. So
I know, crazy, right? It's
yeah.
how the world works, though. When opportunity knocks, you got to jump on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to explore a little bit about what you're doing with your school community too. Because I think that's really interesting, and I'd love for you to share for our audience what you're doing there and what your vision is for it.
Absolutely. So in the mid 2000s, I really pioneered live streaming with bands and things like that. And now that we've come in, post COVID and like doing what you're doing right now, live streaming and television has really changed. If you look at a lot of shows that are on, different cable networks or like Real America's Voice or, channels like that, they use Zoom now or Zoom calls or Riverside FM to do interviews like this with their guests. And now they don't have to fly the guest in, have the big $1 million set. And it's basically people on a Zoom call having a conversation like this. So the whole landscape of television has changed. And as I see also the landscape of commerce changing, especially online commerce, being community based, and the with school blowing up right now. I mean, literally the traffic on school is 5 to 6 times all the competitors. Kajabi, Circle, Go High Level, even as popular as Go High Level is, the daily traffic to school communities is at least 5 times all the competitors every day. And that traffic is primarily coming in from the communities within school that are bringing people outside into their communities within school. And so to me, it's a really dynamic way of engaging, like with your customers. Let's say you own a gym, or you're a realtor. It's a really different way than Facebook groups, to have people on your platform, but also be your customers. And so what I am doing in the MySpace is I am using my media background to promote school communities by building the School Chamber of Commerce. And now we're launching a school VIP TV channel that'll be on Roku and Apple TV and other devices. We're hoping by October. And that will basically have nothing but content from community owners like yourself on school that are doing podcasts, doing programs. And then within the community, we will give training on like how to launch a school community, how to start the gamification, how to engage and keep your people going in there and involved and engaged with each other. And then primarily then taking it into real life by taking it into radio and TV and a monthly print magazine. And that will, a lot of people on school, they're all about YouTube. And it's like everything, go to YouTube, make your brand dynamic, get on YouTube, and that's great. But how many of those people are actually getting up there in the algorithms, getting their content seen on a daily basis? When you see somebody that's a real celebrity, their PR firms do saturation. So they don't target just YouTube. And in fact, the agencies, talent agencies, and PR firms see YouTube as still really like kindergarten. When it comes to advertising, they are still all about television, radio, and print, right? And then they get on podcasts and blogs and things like that and guests. But when you see somebody like a Beyonce, how many billboards do you think you see in New York City with her and her latest, perfume, right? So they shift the way they do their advertising and marketing for their brand, and it goes way beyond YouTube, right? And it's what we would call in real life, not online, not something necessarily that you're clicking on your laptop or an app on your phone to watch. But like I've asked this question, when you go into a hotel room when you're traveling, Jay, what's the first thing you turn on? Do you turn on your laptop and go to YouTube, or do you turn on the TV?
Yeah. I mean, for myself, it's usually the air conditioner if it's not all the way up.
Right. Right. There you go. That's a great answer, man. Great answer.
But yeah, no, I can see like people go in, they turn on the TV or they turn on like something, and then yeah, if I have work, I'll usually flip up my laptop. But yeah, that's a good point.
Right, because you want to know what's going on. Let's say you're in a resort area, or like even in Vegas in a casino, you want to know what's going on in the casino. You turn on the TV, you got these ads rolling, you find out what's happening or you turn on the news and you're, seeing what's going on in the area. Well, I think the same thing can happen outside of YouTube and outside of socials. And I think it's something that as we see the landscapes changing, it's an opportunity for people to pioneer, especially on school. Right now, it's wide open. I think one of the biggest open opportunities on school right now is with growth operators, people that are building out community platforms for celebrities or influencers, and basically just taking their content and managing it and engaging a community on school as a representative of that person. And we've seen that happen with Jason Derulo recently, right? Where Cal Cal is his assistant, his right hand guy, and Cal knows Sam really well. And Cal had his own community and podcast on school, and he showed the but the label and management and the different people involved with Jason the benefit of this, and they're already seeing it. Where he's now, you've got this engagement with the artist that you didn't have. He's coming on and doing private calls. Cal came on and recently did a mastermind with people. And so the fans are getting this opportunity to engage with their star that they love in a way that never happened before. And so that was really the original heart behind School VIP, was I would give media training, and then we would also bring celebrities in and do this kind of behind the scenes stuff, or like go out on a film set and show a little bit of behind the scenes. And so in 2025, that's what we will be leaning towards with School VIP, is actually bringing on celebrities, actors, and musicians, and influencers that are in the public eye, that you don't necessarily get a meet and greet with, or you go to a concert, you pay $1,000 for a ticket, and you get a 10 seconds to get a photo and an autograph, and then you're churned through the line.
Yeah.
Now, when Jason Derulo, forgive me, when Jason did his first live Zoom call in his the family community, it was all basically people like me and other people in school that knew he had just launched this community, that were all community owners. And we got the opportunity to be like the founders and jump into his community and jump in on this call. And he was just blown away because everybody had all this wonderful advice. I think it was really a different dynamic for him. And then also it was a meet and greet in the sense that he got to meet people, and people that, knew his music and all, not that we were ignorant of him. And he got to do something that was new to him, because he, like he said, in a meet and greet, he's got 100 people going through the queue line and he only gets a few seconds. Whereas this was an opportunity where it was like, oh, hey, Matthew, you have a question? Boom, ask me. And it was such a cool dynamic, Jay. I got to tell you, it was something that I really hope that more artists and more influencers will do, because it's an opportunity for more people to get a chance to talk to them or even hear from them, even in a webinar form, that wouldn't normally get to know some personal details about their favorite star. So something I really want to lean towards. So
yeah, and I actually think that's really powerful what you're talking about of doing it live. Because like you may be able to like watch the YouTube videos, or like if they go on something, but I think it's a different experience when you can actually be live and like see someone type in the chat and then like they're reading your questions and answering them right there.
Well, even better, in a Zoom call, that fan has the opportunity to be seen. I mean, it was just, they had it in a grid view, and we were all up on the screen at the same time. And so it was really a cool thing, because people were taking screenshots and all that and seeing themselves up there with Jason. I think it's something that I think we're going to see school over the next year, especially in 2025, go through an evolution stage where I think people are going to push the limits of it.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to try and do new things with the platform and with the communities that aren't just like, hey, I want to sell you something. But, I think if you take like the community idea and concept from Facebook groups, right, where you've got people that all have this common ground, like a fan site. And so they all love this particular band and they all talk about it. And, like I'm on a couple of those sites that are groups like with Yes and Led Zeppelin, because I love talking about them, because I worked with them and I love the guys. I love their music. So taking that dynamic into school, which is really, I think, where school started, was having this ability to have build this really engaging community, but then put up other information, right? Within the community. And then now it's really gone to a big sales platform. And I think what we'll see now is we'll see this shift where kind of the commerce and the communities merge and become something new.
Yeah, where it can lean more towards the community aspect again of like revolving around kind of how you said a common interest or a common person that you then you can interact with, and people can get more actually like time with them, instead of just like the meet and greet. Because that's, I mean, that's the amazing thing about technology is like now they can be speaking to, you know, their entire audience at the same time.
Yeah, and then also, within what I see a lot of people having problems with when they first launch a community is engagement.
Mhm.
And not just engagement like with the person who launched the community, like engaging or commenting on what they post, but internal engagement, people posting more within the community and engaging with the other members of the community so that it's a group dynamic and it's not a guru dynamic
Yeah.
where you've got this person propped up on the pedestal, um, and then everyone's waiting to hear from that guru and find out the next, wisdom nugget from that guru. And then it's dead silence, crickets for the rest of the week or until they post the next thing.
Mhm.
And I think that's where people can really, where gamification helps, right? Because if you add prizes, you add level unlocks, you add course unlocks, or and here's another thing. I don't think people are using the classroom as broadly as it could. For instance, so this is a business show, so let's talk business for a minute. So let's say you're an affiliate marketer. Right now, I know of one person who's got 3 or 4 different communities, and they're style communities. So it's like men's clothing, men's style,
Mhm.
right? But they're using that platform to sell affiliate products like colognes and men's hair care and all these different products. And then with regards to the classroom, let's say you're an AI guy,
Yeah.
right? And you're selling SaaS products. And then you've got all these other SaaS products that you're an affiliate of. Well, you could be loading those into the classroom just as if it was a store and putting your affiliate links in there, a video, an image, description about it in a page tab in your classroom. Like for instance, I've got a microphone
Mhm.
sponsor, Heil Microphones. So, and they've got great podcast microphones. So I can put one of their promotional ads
Mhm.
in a page in the classroom in a folder called Heil Microphones, and then I can drop pages for each microphone and then have my affiliate link. And so you can turn your community into a store
Mhm.
without having to send them out to Etsy or Shopify or someone, because I think that's what I know Sam would like to see, and other people I've talked to, like Ryan Duncan. He's a big proponent of keep it on school as much as possible. Whatever you're doing, keep it within your community and blast it within your community and use the community platform as broad and wide as you can.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so let's explore this idea, because this kind of just came to me of like even like bigger brands that own like, I don't know, some of these like, let's say like fashion brands or anything like that,
Mhm.
like even having communities on there where they do certain interactions with their like audience or like customers as well. I was just thinking about that, of how powerful that could be, of interacting directly with the brand or the people that work on the brand.
Well, absolutely. So you take somebody like Cartier, right? Or a
Mhm.
Gucci. Well, they would be very smart to build a community and then take one of their designers or a few of their designers and have their designers put the content within the community like a blog post. Because basically, in the community, you know, it's like a blog.
Yeah.
and people can comment on the blog and everything. And so, if they had like 3 or 4 designers in there, not just blogging about their fashions, but then also having some stuff in the classroom, courses about basic fashion design, or some behind the scenes of like the next line,
Yeah.
right? To me, that's a huge lead magnet for people to buy. I mean, look at TikTok shops, right? That whole market's exploding, and people are making millions of dollars selling other people's stuff,
Mhm.
affiliate marketing on TikTok, and simply by posting reviews or just posting the product
Yeah.
and a link, you know, and it's become such a popular thing, that I see it being like the indie Amazon,
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I think that's super powerful. And just instead of, well, because things are becoming more social. I mean, with the rise of like social media influencers like backing brands, or like Prime and like Mr. Beast like creating their own product lines, but even they don't necessarily have like as much of a community aspect to it, because they're hosted on social media. And it's like, there's not much of the community aspect. There's only interacting with them. It's kind of a like one-way channel, which is,
right.
so there, like, it seems like that's another big opportunity for them to build up their community so that the community members can interact a lot more too.
Absolutely. And I think it comes down to time. Time, it's always time and money,
Mhm,
right? And it costs money and time, for especially for them, to
mhm,
take time out of their schedule and do something.
mhm.
Now, if somebody in school, wink nudge, these growth operators or school specialists were targeting these influencers,
Mhm.
and don't send them a cold DM, send them a Loom video, please. My first advice nugget. You know, get warm to the person first. Find out who they are and what they need. But it's a really golden opportunity for someone to go to these platforms or these brands or these influencers and say, "Hey, look, this won't cost you anything, but send me the content and the links, and then take a percentage." So now they've saved time, they've saved money, they've got somebody spearheading a whole new movement for them and a whole new marketing platform for them for their product.
Mhm.
And it's only costing them a percentage like they would with any affiliate.
Yeah.
And I really think that's the gold mine of school right now, with the people that are involved in like the school community and that have been around school for a while, or even the ones that just came on in February, but have been, won the school games and have blasted through the levels and have really learned the platform and
Yeah.
how to market the platform well.
Yes.
And now, as I said before, I think it's really now a matter of how broad can we make it?
Yeah.
How many niches can be served? Everybody says target down to the one thing. But when I see like this brand, like the guy that's all about the style,
Yeah.
right? Well, he's selling all kinds of products. He's meeting all kinds of different niches within the one thing, style.
Yeah.
And style's such a broad thing, but he niched down to men's style. But then now his product line is broad. And so I think people are like, limiting themselves, because it's like, my product line is, I help you with churn, and that's all I do. And I
Mhm.
don't do anything else. Or I help you with engagement, and that's all I do. And I don't do anything else. And that's good for people that don't necessarily want to do more than that, or don't have the wheelhouse or bandwidth to do more than that. But then there's creatives like me that want to have 100 things going at once, you know,
Yeah.
or or they don't feel like they're, you know, successful or doing what they were meant to be doing, and so I think there's of course, you need to have a very clear defined offer in sales, period. What are you selling? How does it benefit the customer? That's simple. That's been, marketing 101 since the dark ages. Come on. I've got a chicken. you've got a pig. I'd really like that pig. How about I give you 5 of my chickens for a pig? That's how it used to work, right? And really, it's just a matter of exchange, and money is just the tool of exchange. So, but what you're doing is you're exchanging time and knowledge, information, like a band. Here's a really good example. A lot of club owners will look at a band and say, "Hey, I can only pay you $500." And the band says, "Well, we've got 8 members. We've got a horn section. But I can only pay you $500 for the night." Well, that band is actually going to lose money on that $500 night.
Mhm.
Right. Because transportation, because of food, because of all the different things that go with the logistics of getting the people there.
Mhm.
So the bands that do well are the ones that are able to put the value on their thing of, hey, look, we've been studying our craft for 30 years. We're the best Steely Dan cover band in the nation, and we do conventions and festivals every day, and our price is 10 grand a night. Now, if you want the best Steely Dan cover band for your wedding or your event or your convention, conference, whatever you're doing, it's 10 grand a night. And I think that's what people are seeing as they're evolving in school and they're coming on and they're figuring out their niche. They're evaluating their true value. And I
Mhm.
think that's the most important part of your offer is you've got to evaluate the value that you're actually giving your customer, and don't cheap yourself out because someone wants what you have.
Mhm.
Somebody out there wants what you have. And I like Alex Hormozy's strategy of, you know, don't go after the low ticket. If you can't handle volume, don't go out after low ticket. That's where niching down and having one thing and targeting one person. So, like a growth operator, target that celebrity, go after that celebrity till you got them. If it doesn't work, try the next one, but keep going. And when you get that first one is going to be enough for you to get 10, because the testimony of that one and how you treated him and the great product you gave him is going to be enough testimony for you to get all the business you need from that point on. So, as Hormozy says, be the best at what you do and charge a lot for it. And don't be afraid to. Simple.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, we have covered all spectrums here. I'd love to wrap with just like, what would your advice be for someone that may be just starting out? They may be a younger kid just starting out, and like a CEO. Like a CEO, they may have a traditional business. They may not even like have a community aspect to it. What would be your recommendation to them?
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll answer that in two answers. I mean, the first one is the young kid that wants to not work at McDonald's
Mm.
and can't afford to go to college. My advice to you is get up at 4 a.m. and go to bed at 11 p.m. every day. Spend at least 4 hours out of your day studying. Watch videos on YouTube. They're free. Okay. There's people like Dan Martell and Alex Hormozy that'll teach you pretty much everything you need to know. But then also, if you're wanting to make money on school, go watch Andrew Kirby, go watch Max Pearson, go watch Ryan Duncan. These people know a lot about this platform. Engage in the school community, engage in the school games community, ask questions. People are super happy to help you, and they probably even have a course for you, or a community, excuse me, a community to help you solve whatever problem you're facing, whether it's engagements or return or content or whatever it is. There are a lot of people there that are really happy to communicate and help people that are new to the platform. Now, the CEO, I'd say the same thing, but with the CEO, I think what you have to do is you have to not look at this as some like kindergarten platform or some childish YouTube platform or some childish, wannabe podcast. You have to look at this as a new commercial aspect of your business.
Mhm.
Right. And again, how do the big stars get so big and earn the millions they earn? And it's saturation, market saturation. So if you're a CEO and you have an opportunity to, as an example, use AI as an automation system for response systems, save time from your staff having to, respond to every email and every DM that comes into your social media, you should use it. And if you have an opportunity to try something new, a different approach where you have community and you're engaging with people that are now like friends or fans,
Mhm.
people that love your product or love your company or you as an individual, uh, you really should look into doing something beyond Facebook. And what's great about school is you don't have to worry about censorship. You don't have to worry about YouTube taking you down because you used the wrong music bed under a video you did. You don't have to worry about that because you can use products like Wistia and host your videos there, right? Or Loom, and host your videos there and put that into your comments, into your community. And you don't have to be on YouTube or Vimeo or one of those major platforms to get your message out. And so to the CEO, I would say hire a kid that knows everything about AI that you don't know, and hire a growth operator, or go join Max Pearson's school masterclass. You can afford it. Spend a month in there and have your staff spend a month in there and get your staff trained up in how to operate that community. And now you're going to have a market you never had before. Simple as that.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, William. It has been a pleasure. For anybody listening or watching, all his socials will be linked. His school group will be linked. And it's been an incredible time with you today.